A very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us and allowing us into your lunchtime space. My name is Patricia Lokoma Mpango, and straight away into our lunchtime bulletin. Uganda Cancer Institute has approved a human resource structure where the staff remuneration has been improved and expected to get a higher pay than it was before it was made autonomous. The chairperson, Board of Directors, Uganda Cancer Institute, Professor William Mbale, during a familiarization tour to the different departments in the institute, said the implementation of these new structures starts next month and will attract more medical experts in the cancer treatment.
Government has invested heavily in the Uganda Cancer Institute in Mbale to boost cancer treatment in the country and also minimize people traveling abroad for specialized treatment. The Board of Directors of the Uganda Cancer Institute, led by the chairperson, Professor William Mbale, has toured all the departments to see what is in place, discover gaps and get information to help them come up with decisions on how to prioritize services. At the hematology laboratory, people send samples they are suspicious of cancer. Sickle cell testing and analysis is done, and in the microbiology laboratory, they perform tests to determine the organisms causing infection.
The past where somebody would take over 7 days to receive the diagnosis, with this backtech equipment, we are able to identify the organism within 4 days, and we are able
not been accompanied by an increase in the budget to buy the consumables. For every patient that we analyze here, you need to buy culture bottles, you need media, and you also need to buy the antibiotic discs that you're using for testing. And all of it is the cost that you have to incur just in this lab. But
the molecular laboratory is where they carry out tests to find out specific characteristics of each cancer in the patient, and this service is critical if Uganda is to increase survival of patients. 34,000 new cases are diagnosed every year. Some of the drugs used to treat cancer cost $30,000. However, the institute receives donation of drugs because treatment is a combination of chemotherapy.
One small bottle of 90 tablets costs $30,000, and they have been giving us that drug. And we have several patients, close to 10 patients in this country, who are taking those tablets every day.
The Uganda Cancer Institute reception outpatient department receives 210 people who come for chemotherapy. Odongo Jimmy is a prostate cancer patient who started treatment in March this year.
I advise Ugandans to carry out medical checkup, especially when they are feeling something, pain around their lower part, lower abdomen. I advise them that they should go for medical checkup.
A number of equipment has been installed for cancer scanning and treatment, 2 planning CT scan machines, 3 state-of-the-art linear accelerator for radiotherapy, and 2 higher dose rate diotherapy machines have been installed. The radiotherapy that is in operation, installed in 2021, treats 60 to 70 patients a month.
On to this to give a much higher dose to kill the cancer. For example, like in cervical cancer, patients finish the other side and then come here to give a very high dose to completely cure the cancer.
The same with esophagus.
So
you start with that one, then the tumor regresses a bit, becomes smaller, then they come here and boost more interest.
In all these departments, there is a challenge of human resource. Each scanner has to be operated by 4 people. But currently, they are 2.
All that actually is there, and they cannot function without human resource. And the human resource, in addition to the numbers, they also need to be remunerated appropriately. And we have what we call a highly specialized human resource. You cannot just walk on the street and get them. And if you get them, you must pay them well.
The institute is also constructing a building that will have wards and another where a number of services will be offered, like transplants. I'm Navka Farida and Robert Katamba in Mbale.
Well, as we move forward, Total Energies E&P Uganda Limited, the main contractor for the Tilenga project in Bulisa and Nyoya district, has initiated a road safety campaign aimed at curbing the high number of accidents in the Albertine Graben region. The campaign, launched at Bulisa district headquarters, was presided over by Nora Bijera, the area woman member of parliament. In collaboration with Safeway, Rightway, Total Energies aims at targeting school children, motorists and community members in their efforts to implement this campaign.
If you see the school is on the roadside, what do? Take your duty of care to see how you can improvise or provide a solution within your means. So at Total Energies, within our means, we have also identified to fund fellow schools where we are going to provide fences, because those schools are located right next to the fence. We have even schools that are located right out of the gate of our well parks. So we will not just watch and see kids at danger or at risk. So that's one of the things we work on. On our activities, if you are affected, we will look out and try to help a better way of how you can survive or live safely.
Road traffic injuries cause considerable economic losses to victims, their families, and to the nation as a whole. Of the worldwide road accidents that kill road victims, nearly half of the victims are pedestrians, cyclists, and motorists, according to the report by the World Health Organization. To our president, who has created and provided an enabling environment to see all these activities come into place.
Now, in a moment of jubilation and camaraderie, yes, Uganda police came together to honor and decorate over 70 deserving officers who have been promoted for their exceptional dedication and service. The celebration held at Uganda Central Police showcased the collective pride and appreciation for other officers, hard work, heads of security, including the resident district commissioner and regional police commanders, and the district police commander gathered to celebrate this significant milestone and commended the officers for their great achievements.
Inspector General of Police, who thought it wise to promote you people. Sir, our chief guest, a lot of issues which we consider when we are promoting officers, but the main thing is people who deserve to be promoted. Hard work with discipline. Yes. They may consider other things, maybe somebody has overstayed on the rank, what, those issues. But the main issue, are you delivering? If you're a public servant, are you serving?
To live within our means, because of our pay, but you can adjust to ensure that we live within that means. You know, he mentioned, I don't know who mentioned, that police and corruption is inseparable. But we can throw that name away. Say that some people see us as, you know, straight. When I had just come to office, you would see an old man coming with an envelope. Now I said, but you, is it you to give me an envelope, or it should be me to give you an envelope?
Well, we jubilate together with them. Let's take a short break and return with more.
These days, our homes are no longer just the places we live. It's where we attend meetings, go to class, keep each other safe, and entertain ourselves. To do this smoothly, you need a reliable internet connection. Buy the MTN WakaNet router, which connects up to 32 devices, and get a free 40 GB data bundle at only 149,000 shillings. Or buy the MTN WakaNet MiFi at only 75,000 shillings and enjoy a free 15 GB bundle to stream, study, work, and play on the go. Visit any MTN service center to buy the MTN WakaNet router or MiFi and enjoy the internet that does amazing things.
Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret? Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM? Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk. No, it is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving. Juko. I thought I was one of your friends. You are. But you left me behind. I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or gift.
Get freaky too. Dial *100*0# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *100*0#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *100*0# to get started.
Airtel. A reason to imagine.
The biggest, the baddest East African Christian Marathon is here. Come participate at the East African Christian Marathon for a prayer run on the 13th of August 2023 at the Lugogo Hockey Grounds. Come represent your family at the prayer run and run for a good cause to build the first call center, which will be East Africa's virtual listener. Come for the prayer run alongside your pastors, leaders, representatives from Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, Congo, South Sudan, and of course Uganda. Participate with Honorable Captain Mike Mukula, who is the chief runner and patron. Do not miss out on this opportunity. Make your donation for your kid now from 20,000, 30,000, and 100,000 Uganda shillings, because runs change the world. For more details, call 0781-885-055 or visit our website at www.eastafricachristianmarathon.org. Proudly sponsored by PKF, UBC, Venro Health, Aquafina, and Moving Preacher.
Uganda waranchi bakusako manrane chikona tena tekobo seko season yakuna savu July kuma Mount Papa's Hall usasule kwa MTN mobile money usasula gumu chitundu MTN usasule nega komitano iga sistemu kagatano stamu enda munana hasha kwa MTN ufune tiketi yokati wabula kumulyango usasule mitwale 2 yepe mitwale 5 ate meza ya milioni 2 munana July Golden Hotel mkono wenda July Nikan Resort Terweza 15 July France Africa Jinja Habili mbili July Maria Flema Saka Habili mwenda July Afro Club Eka Sangati Ate yoyo noku yingi na mutualo Wafujini dwa musente Talent Africa Victoria University Suzu Property Consultants Pepsi Max Uganda Warranty Ne
MTN.
We'll be back as we continue. The Kampala City Council Authority says they have been losing an estimated 4.5 billion Ugandan shillings annually due to the absence of an ordinance enabling the collection of fees for outdoor advertising on billboards. Now, according to the Committee on Commissions, Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises, that's the report we get.
Kosa says investigation found fault with KCC officials, attributing the government's financial loss to their failure to enact a trade ordinance related to the outdoor advertising levy.
We were given 14 days by Parliament. 14 days by Parliament. We are now in 2 months.
The court had previously halted the collection of this levy in 2020, ruling that KCCA was using an illegal instrument for its collection. However, since then, the authority has been unable to establish a new ordinance to regulate the tax effectively.
KCCA went ahead to make corrections to those billboards without any law. There is no act from Parliament, there is no bylaw, there is no ordinance in regards to that. What came after that action? The members of the NWACA went to court and petitioned the KCCA.
During a recent KCCA council sitting chaired by Speaker Zahara Rilika, a scuffle broke out among councillors representing different divisions of Kampala while discussing the enactment of the ordinance. The session was aimed at finding a solution to enable the passage of the law. KCCA's Deputy Executive Director David Luyimbazi, leading the technical wing, highlighted the significant financial losses incurred by Kampala due to the absence of a proper outdoor advertising framework.
I've been advised that some parts of the laws have been removed. I do not know yet which ones, okay? But I'm sure billboards definitely we shall be able to collect. Signages by shops, again, we shall be able to collect. I think the mobile advertisements, those ones have been removed. People who have mobile money shops, I think those ones also will not pay from the information I've just received regarding what has been removed.
While some councillors expressed opposition to the enactment of the Kampala Outdoor Ordinance, Councillor Jeremiah Keyamwanje from Kasubi and Councillor Chiza Hakim from Rubia stressed that it was the council's responsibility to pass the law.
The Kampala Capital City Outdoor Advertising Ordinance. So that bill is going to be taxing certain elements of things that are advertised outside, things that the public can view from outside. But because that's a very broad definition, we have exempted clearly in the bill certain items. So the bill is going to be taxing two major elements. The first element is going to be taxing everybody who does outdoor advertising as a business. There are people who have screens, big LCD and LED screens in town.
Councillor Farida Nakabugo from Rubaga South, however, raised concerns that the law would negatively impact local communities, leading to the scuffle. After extensive deliberations, the councillor and Speaker Zahara Rilika ultimately managed to enact the outdoor ordinance law, making an important milestone for Kampala's advertising landscape. This means that all advertisement and promotional billboards in the city will now be a subject to taxation. Justin Nakami at KCCA.
And we do remember in the budget reading there was that option of expanding the tax base. So I think that is where we're headed to. Now over to Somalia. Somalia has committed $10 million to tackle the triple challenge of dissatisfaction, climate change and biodiversity losses, partly blamed for destroying lives and creating hunger in the Horn of Africa. Now, this was revealed by Somalia's President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud during the launch of the initiative in Somalia's capital, Mogadishu.
That is to keep the time, maybe 2-3 minutes.
I would like to request our international partners, the distinguished ambassadors and diplomats and the United Nations senior officers who are here with us today to support Somalia bilaterally and multilaterally to combat with the devastating consequences of the climate change that you have seen. Somalia's accession to the Great Green Wall Initiative is a significant milestone in our country's commitment to addressing the climate change and the environmental degradation that has caused many sufferings to our people. Let us unite our efforts and build strong partnerships and work tirelessly towards a greener and more sustainable future for Somalia, Africa, and the world at large. Somalia, among many other challenges, environmental change, the impact of the environmental change is a serious matter, which my government gives top priority to counter. Today, we officially launch the Great Green Wall Initiative in Somalia and announce our financial commitment to a $10 million, which will be part of our country's allocation. Which will be part of our country's allocation from the Adaptation Fund, in collaboration with the International Fund for Agricultural Development.
The Great Green Wall Initiative is a Pan-African flagship program of the African Union. It is a central plank in our quest for a better world by tackling the triple challenges of desertification, climate change, biodiversity loss. ATMIS, with the support of UNSOS, has already pledged to plant 30,000 trees around some 58 forward operating bases before its final next exit. Thank you all.
We need to look at developing a national action plan for Somalia. We need to look at developing a result framework document for Somalia. We need to prepare Somalia for the next ministerial council that will be held in Abuja very soon. We need to prepare the president of Somalia for the Heads of State Summit that is coming up at the end of the year. We need to prepare Somalia a pipeline of projects that they are going to use to leverage the 10 million adaptation fund.
Now, away from Somalia, let's cross over just within here across in Mbale, where a devastating turn of events, this is news just in, shows that vendors at Kumi Road Market in Mbale City woke up to a scene of misery today as a fire engulfed their market, reducing their hard-earned commodities to ashes. The fire, which is reported to have started between 11 p.m. to 11:30 p.m., has left the vendors in a state of shock and despair. Taitika Rogers, the spokesperson for the Elgon Region Police, provided this information. Now, the fire outbreak has had severe consequences for the vendors, many of whom have lost their entire capital. This loss is particularly challenging for those who are already burdened with the loans from various banking institutions.
Anakatale kamanya omunaku tekagoba akasente konna kobeera nako otandika tetukoseddwa nnyo tunatandikira wa tuli kuddawa
saa mukaaga gw'ekirawo twafunidde ekikanga bw'ekyakatale kaffe kano tuli mu bulumi nnyo akatale kaffe okukujjaako
bamu tuli mulwani tuli bannamwandu bwetusomeseza abaana bwetulina kyakukola kati nze ebintu ebimu babidye ebyalanisanga omulala abitwala naye nayondekerawooko ebirala kati baneze tumanyi gavumenti etuyamba ekyanga kwaba omusajja yafa omwana wange abadde anyamba ali kuzina bamusibye kale nkola entya
okubeera nga kakwata omuliro kubanga kati oba baleseeko ebijanjalo omuliro ne guba nga ng'ebiyumba bibiri ebyebibaawo baleseeko esigiri kyayika omuliro ne guyitamu bwe gwavuddeko obuzibu kubanga mu temuli masannyalaze nti oba amasannyalaze megali
awo eno gye twogerera wano abasuubuzi tebalina ekintu kyonna gye balina ebintu byonna biyidde
mu kaseera abantu baffe beetaagira akasente akatini ako n'eniseemu eyo jjukira abantu bali bakatwala abaana ku masomero bali mu fees balance abantu n'okulya kwenyini ennaku zino kuzibu nyo balaba nti ebintu byonna ebyonoonese y'abantu baffe olowooza nti bali mu nfuna eyo ntonotono so kibi nnyo nti kaseera kazibu naye nga kanso naye tugenda kuddayo tutuule tutunuulire obubenje obw'omuliro guno buva ku ki.
It's unfortunate that
our business community here, they have lost a lot of property, and we have not quantified the amount of the property, but what is on record is that over 500 stalls have been destroyed. According to what we have established, they say the fire started at around 2100 hours, that is 9 p.m. So getting information around that time, really it was unfortunate, and we are asking the public that when such an incident has happened, please, it is wise you let us know so that we can respond.
Now, the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni, has met a delegation from the German state of Sassone and discussed possible fields of cooperation in the education sector. The delegation, led by Honorable Oliver Schenk, State Minister of German Federal State of Sassone, met the First Lady at State House Nakasero. Others in the delegation included members of parliament, government and state institutions, plus representatives from the education and vocational training sector, fields of science and research, business sector, and the civil society and NGOs. They were accompanied by the Uganda ambassador to Germany, Stephen Mobiro, and the deputy ambassador, Danny Sozi.
Oliver Schenk, State Minister of German Federal State of Saxony, met the First Lady at State House Nakasero. Others in the delegation included members of parliament, government and state institutions, plus representatives from education and vocational training sector, fields of science and research, business sector, and the civil society. They were accompanied by Uganda's ambassador to Germany, Stephen Mubiru, and his deputy ambassador, Danny Sozi. The First Lady welcomed the German delegation and appreciated Saxony State's desire to cooperate with Uganda's education sector. Among the potential areas of cooperation between Saxony State and Uganda's education ministry discussed was vocational education and training, training of trainers for Uganda's technical and vocational institutes, building partnerships between schools and universities in the two countries, and ensuring environmental protection through the education. The First Lady highlighted the need to cooperate in the area of training of trainers for the technical and vocational education training institutes.
Trainers who are truly competent to train others in technical institutes, and also find the equipment we need, because sometimes we buy equipment and we don't have people who are hands-on trainers to train people to use that kind of equipment in technical institutes.
The First Lady further added on specific area she desires to get trainers who can, for example, train our people to build durable roads.
Many of the times we do road construction, we have many foreign companies who come here to do that work. But we have many young people now coming out of universities who could train to do work like that, and perhaps put in more work to build better roads and durable roads.
Mrs. Museveni welcomed the idea of building partnerships between Ugandan and Saxony schools, and students beginning with them getting to know each other through online communication, and thereafter making programs that can help build these relationships as we try to build the global village in the world. On the field of environment, Mrs. Museveni noted that Uganda still has many challenges with environmental protection and can learn from the experience and success stories of its friends and partners. She said the Ministry of Education can do so much at school level to teach our children how to protect the environment so that they grow up knowing how to protect their own environment. The head of the Saxony delegation, Honorable Oliver Schenk, said that their state, which is one of the 16 that form the Federal Republic of Germany, had undergone an intense transformation process for the last 3 decades and has been successful in setting up an education system rated the best in the whole of Germany. He said that their goal is to establish a good and broad cooperation with Uganda in several fields, including universities, schools, business, among others.
We are very successful, I think, in setting up a new education system. And it's now for more than 15 or 20 years that in all reports on the education system in Germany, Saxony is always on the top. And we would like to share our experiences. And we are also very interested in cooperations between several schools, that they can exchange students, that they can exchange teachers, that they can train the teachers. We had the possibility to visit a vocational training center on Sunday in Heuma. And it was not only interesting to see how it is organized, we felt also a great openness for further cooperation, to exchange students there, to exchange the teachers, and therefore this could be, or we would be really interested in continuing these ideas.
The delegation reported that on their visit to a vocational institute in Hoima, they identified a great opportunity for further cooperation in the area of students and teacher exchange visits. They also visited Makerere University and said there is great potential for the future. They said Saxony State is already in cooperation with Nkomba University in the field of pedagogy. Ambassador Stephen Mobiru, head of mission of Uganda's embassy in Germany, said that Germany has a very good success story in the area of vocational education, which Uganda can learn from. He added that Ugandans can also benefit from industrial partnerships, industrial training in the many industries in the Saxony State, and training at PhD level. Boguma William reporting for UBC.
And that's all we had time for. Let's meet again at 8 and 10 o'clock. Patricia Lokoma Mpango is my name. Good afternoon.